Yeah, they keep calling up Vivi. They disagree with him, try to censor him. According to this tweet, watching CNN try to censor a presidential candidate in real time by shouting over him and trying to cut him off while claiming they are trying to protect their viewers is how I picture the Orwellian Olympics playing out. There is a video I'm going to play here. You will see clearly what went on. It is crazy to me. CNN had this session with Vivid. If you remember, I put out a video a few days ago during that debate where Vivid called out the January 6th. He said a lot pertaining to that. Now, trying to answer this question, he was censored. They cut him off. It is insane. If you are calling up someone, on a town hall like this, be able to, allow the person to speak up.
So let me ask you about something that you said at the debate last week. You used the phrase inside job to describe what happened on January 6th. The next day, Capitol rioter Alan Hostetter highlighted your comments at his sentencing. He is going to prison for 11 years. Hostetter threatened members of Congress. He brought a hatchet, knives, pepper spray, stun batons, tactical gear to the U.S. Capitol. Are you concerned that a convicted felon like that is now promoting your comments in court?
That January 6th was in any way an inside job, the subject of government entrapment, I would have told you that was crazy talk. Fringe conspiracy theory nonsense. I can tell you now, having gone somewhat deep in this, it's not. I mean, the reality is this. We do have a government, first of all, we have to acknowledge, that has lied to us systematically over the last several years about the origin of COVID-19, about the Hunter Biden laptop that we were told was false by 51 CIA experts and otherwise before we now know that it was true. You can go straight down the list, the Trump-Russia disinformation collusion hoax, all of it. Now we come to January 6th. The reality is we know that there were federal law enforcement agents in that field. We don't know how many. I think it's shameful. If I may finish just answering.
Well, let me
this
just.
is really important.
I'm going to go ahead and interrupt you here because
I
you're
know
saying that there is no
doesn't.
evidence that there were federal agents in the crowd on January 6th.
Vivi sent this out. Too bad for CNN. We will take the truth on January 6th mainstream. There's a clear evidence there was at the very least entrapment of peaceful protesters, similar to the fake Gretchen Wilmer kidnapping plot and countless other cases. The FBI won't admit how many undercover officers were in the field on January 6th. Capitol Police, on one hand, fire rubber bullet and explosive into a peaceful crowd who they then willingly later allowed to enter the Capitol. That doesn't add up, and the actual evidence turns the prior narratives upside down. If the deep state is willing to manufacture and to take down its political opponent, they can do anything. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. That is Vivid still responding to this. A lot is going on here. They might not see what Vivi is saying now, but I believe at a certain point they will come to terms with this. It is like what I saw during the Hunter laptop. A lot of these same people were standing up. A lot of people even got censored because of that. But when the truth came out, it still maintained like that. They didn't apologize.
Let's start with January 6th.
Sure.
There is no evidence that it is an inside job. It was a fringe conspiracy theory that the Trump-appointed FBI Director Christopher Wray has said explicitly over and over is just not true.
So let me, I appreciate the opportunity to address it. I was an anti-woke crusader leaving the business world, and if you had asked me 3 years ago, is there some chance January 6th is an inside job, I would have said that was crazy talk. I would say, looking at the facts of the video footage that have come out, Dana, it is shocking that you still haven't gotten a clear answer of how many federal agents were in the field that day. Look at now the video footage of actually throwing explosives and rubber bullets into what was a peaceful crowd, then releasing to the public what came in response to that. But now look at the video footage that was released, and I'm glad we're talking about it because viewers deserve to look at that footage. Capitol Police literally letting people in who were then now prosecuted. Some of them have gone on to commit suicide because of what the government's doing. That is a case of entrapment. And I think the government has not been transparent about this, which is why I then brought up another case where the government, now 20 years later, with declassified documents, tells us that they lied to us at the time. And so I do think we have a government that's consistently lied to its people.
But an inside job suggests that everybody who attacked the Capitol was part of that.
I didn't say that, but I was saying that there's entrapment going on. There's entrapment going on, and this looks like a case of entrapment. And if you look at even over the last day.
What do you mean by entrapment?
Entrapment means that the police goaded people to do something otherwise than they otherwise wouldn't have done, and then they arrest them for actually doing it.
And you don't think it was actually the former president who was trying to get people?
Well, I think that was the media narrative. Now look at actually a hard case.
We heard him with our own ears. I'm going to ask you about a case
and see what you think about this, right? You guys said this for a long time about the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping plot. Suddenly gone silent after it comes out at trial that absolutely that was a case of entrapment, which is why 2 of those people were acquitted. So I'm saying this as somebody who, on the other side of this, as a biotech CEO, somebody who was even anti-woke, but if I was looking at this, I would have said a lot of this is crazy talk. But if you actually get into the details, I think it is startling how much the government has systematically lied. And I think it's both parties.
Somebody sent this out. Network like CNN feature news of the Whitmer kidnapping hoax non-stop when arrests were announced a month before Election Day 2020. Whitmer conducted a non-stop victim tour blaming Trump for the plot to kidnap and kill her. One detail emerged about the elaborate FBI entrapment scheme. Cable news and corporate media outlets stopped covering it. Now they can't even get basic facts right. If you see Vivid insisting on this, it is because the media has always been like this. You can see a lot of people speculating this. After some years, the truth will come out. These same people will not be there to stand and defend this. Where is your proof? Where is your proof? That is what I get from them, which is insane to me. This is a presidential candidate. It's just not an ordinary person right now. Allow him to speak his mind. He should express what you think is not okay. Thereafter, you can disagree with him. I think that is how it is done. Don't just cut him off, with that kind of way. If I'm even Vivid, sometimes I will not show up in a place like this if I know that you will censor me when I'm speaking. It is insane to me. It is just like when Trump went on this same town hall. You saw what happened. They tried to do this. Trump will not listen, direct to the point, and he will repeat what he wanted to. They say it was fact check. If you want to fact check someone, allow that person to speak up his mind, then sit and say no. Do you have proof? Not breaking what the person wants to say.
First of all, Chris Christie also doesn't know what provinces in eastern Ukraine he actually wants us to fight for. Chris, your version of foreign policy experience was closing a bridge from New Jersey to New York. Yeah. So do everybody a favor, just walk yourself off that stage, enjoy a nice meal, and get the hell out of this race. When it comes to Nikki...